All right, so everybody take a look up here. Just stop working for a second. Okay, so the way that the body works is going to be very similar to how like the horns worked and the nose. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm spinning to the back of the head. Okay, what I'm going to do is basically decide where I want the neck to start coming out of. Okay, so say I wanted my neck to start rolling out of here. Okay, that's kind of the area I'm looking at. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to get my flatten tool. I'm going to bump the scale up on that. And my strength is going to be pretty good. And I'm basically just going to start flattening this thing out for an area for my neck to grow out of. Okay, now, if it still looks weird, you know, like, I think it actually looks pretty good. If it looks weird, though, you can go ahead and you can keep, like, kind of meshing in with your grab tool and whatever. So I'm going in. I'm just going to flatten. Get a good space for the neck to grow out of. All right, so just like before, I flatten an area. Now this one, I think it helps a little bit more than the horns even. I'm going to go to my draw tool, scale it up to fill that entire neck size that I kind of set aside for myself. Okay, and then strength, we'll get it up pretty high here. And I'm going to zoom out and kind of angle myself so I can see what I'm doing when I pull this out. Oops. Too big. Shrink it down. All right, so now I'm going to start drawing, and again, same idea, just kind of pulling out a nub for myself to use as the body beginning, okay? Don't worry if it's not real smooth kind of connecting yet. You can go back and edit that. You can smooth it. You can push pull. Okay, so there's my nub for my body. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is take my grab tool. I'm going to just pull it out just slightly, okay? You're not going to go too crazy. You can always go back and do more, but just kind of get it started. Make sure you don't pull too much, because then that's when you start getting like weird, deformities on your dragon. So now there's the start of my neck. Now the next thing, we're gonna go use a tool that we really haven't used very much, but we did talk about on the first day, which is my inflate tool. Okay, so my inflate tool, what I'm gonna do here is try to get this so I can see the top. Right, and I'm going to go take my deflate tool, or inflate tool rather. I'm going to bump the size up and the strength, and I'm basically going to inflate the neck. Okay, so I'm going in there and I'm just adding material to it. And then I'm going to go back to my grab tool. I'm going to pull that body out even more, trying not to make it get weird like pixelation. Okay, I'm going to go get my inflate tool again. I'll bump the strength up all the way here. Start adding some massive material. All right, now, say I want to decide where the shoulders are. Okay, now, I'll be honest with you guys. It's not a bad idea to go look up, like, some anatomy. Okay, whether it's human or, like, just dragon images. It's not going to hurt. So, I'm just going to smooth out this neck connector here a little bit. Okay. So, say I wanted the shoulders here, and you do have to think about it. Like, where do the shoulders actually make sense? Okay, for me, I think they probably make sense maybe over here. So, I'm going to grab my grab tool, shrink that down. And I'm basically just going to start pulling out where I think the arms would be. Okay, now, I don't like that placement, so I'm going to undo it. I think that my shoulders should probably be a little bit lower, give myself a little bit more neck space. So there we go. I'm going to say my shoulders are going to be here. All right. Good thing to do might be, all right, start either getting some depth to it so it's not just real thin. All right, maybe even inflate those. All right. And then I'll continue kind of adding material on here. Okay, same thing with the chest. All right, so here's what I want you guys to do is kind of use these skills, and I'll go back over it if I need to. Use these skills to start building the chest and maybe the beginning of the arms. possibly go down into the torso a little bit. Okay, so it's really just draw, grab, inflate, flatten. Okay, those are our main tools that we're using here. Again, we will try to talk about doing wings. Wings are a little bit more complicated. The big thing you guys want to think about, if you make an arm, you have to make sure the arm is like proportionate to the rest of the body. Because if it's not, then you're going to run into issues. And it's not going to look right. It's going to look weird. All right, so do you guys want me to... No.